Hello, this is Wicked Shrapnel, and I want to take an in-depth look, not to copyright Drifter, but I just want to take a look at all the perks that we've seen in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and just go over them one by one, talk about ones that I think are OP, and just basically get a deeper look at what we're facing come November. And most of them were screen grabbed from the reveal trailer. Some that I didn't have I got from Ashley or Optic Midnight, who was kind enough to let me use her video to take some screenshots to show you guys. And she posted some good Advanced Warfare videos, so if you want to check it out, I'll put her playlist in the description and tell her Wicked Shrapnel sent you. So the first one is lightweight, and it makes you go faster. That's about it. You guys can tell this is going to be a great video already, huh? But lightweight is a great perk, and out of all those that are listed up there, it might be one that I choose, especially for like the capture the flag or any of the objective game types that you got to get somewhere quick. So I wouldn't throw it away. And the next one, low profile, is basically Ghost. So I know the Ghost has got some bad rep in previous Call of Duties. Basically, it hides you from the UAVs, and it also says tracking rounds, and so I'm not quite sure what the tracking rounds do, but I'm guessing it lights you up on the radar for a limited amount of time, and this is going to hide you from the radar, which many people like and use, and a lot of people hate and think that it's not fair if you get a UAV that you have the power to just automatically cancel out that UAV by wearing this perk. Personally, I don't have too much opinion about it. This one, I have a strong opinion about though. Danger Close, increased explosives and score streak damage. What the fuck? We all know what Danger Close is. One-man army Danger Close noob tubes from MW2 basically destroyed Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 would be so much better of a game. It's still my favorite Call of Duty to date, Modern Warfare 2, if people are not using this fucking perk. And it has the potential to destroy this Call of Duty, depending on how OP it is. A lot of the people that played the game early, I'm sure that there weren't Danger Close douche nozzles running around the map while they were playing, so we haven't really seen how it's going to affect it in public matches once the game's released. But I have a feeling there's going to be some trolling unicorns running this thing with 2 explosive, probably remote drones, the proximity drones, or frags and noob tubes, and it just fucking sucks. I can't believe it's back in the game. Alright, got that out of my system. But that one is the one that I want gone for sure. Overcharged extends your exo ability battery life and shocks enemies on impact of a boost slam. So I'm not quite sure what the shock is, if that is going to give you additional like blast radius when you do your shock from above. It might give you some just more radius of death when you boost down from above. The shock might finish the enemies off. So don't know how OP that's going to be, but from what I've seen as far as how long it extends the exosuit ability, it doesn't double it, it just extends it by a short amount. So I don't think it's going to be that OP, but I guess we'll have to see. And up next we have Flak Jacket. This is definitely one that I've used a lot, especially in like domination. Anything where you have to like capture a flag. You don't want people to throw across the map, nade, and hit a nade spot and blow you up off the flag. It usually gets banned from competitive MLG because they like their nade spots. So one that I'll use, and also just like in Black Ops 2, if you pick up a grenade, it resets the timer on it so you can throw it back at the enemy. And it says no slowdown from explosive damage, so it's not going to stun you and slow you down. So a good perk to use, and it seems like it's pretty much the same from previous CODs. Now on to the second tier of perks, we have peripherals. And I think it's a weird word to say, peripherals. Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, this is a new perk, which we've never seen ever in any previous Call of Duty, and it increases the mini-map coverage. Take out enemies without displaying death icons. So we've seen that like the takedown perk in Ghost where you don't display the death icon. But now we are going to increase the minimap coverage. So depending on how much it's increased, that could be a very valuable perk to use, and one I'm definitely going to play with and see how it works out. It might be a main one that I use. Don't know how OP it's going to be, but I guess we'll see. And next up we have Blind Eye, which I overlooked at first, but I think that it might be one of the most valuable perks in this slot, if what I think is true. So let's read it. It says, undetectable by tracking drones. And what are tracking drones? They are these pieces of equipment that fly around the map and track and highlight enemy players. So it's like location-based UAV of these little tracking drones that are going to be flying all over the place, which I'm guessing you could shoot down pretty easily, but if you don't notice them, they're going to highlight you on the map unless you have Blind Eye. But also, they say explosive drones, which an explosive drone is the annoying proximity, you know, the IED. It basically will make you immune to an IED. The IED is not even going to see you. So you're, like with Flak Jacket, it might protect you, but if you've already taken some damage, it could still kill you. But Blind Eye, you're going to be completely ignored. So I think that that is actually going to be a very valuable perk, and probably one that I'm going to be running if it makes me ignore the explosive drones. So that is very good to see on the list. Alright, and next we have Cold-Blooded, which I think is going to be an invaluable perk. It says it's immune to thermal target enhancer, which that is the tracker sight. It automatically will highlight enemies in the sight, the total noob sight that everyone hates. This will make you immune to it. You will not get targeted. And Threat Grenade, which the Threat Grenade is another thing that I think could be OP. That is basically the wall hack grenade that we saw in the reveal trailer, which will light you up if it's in the blast radius of the Threat Grenade and show you through walls. So I imagine it's kind of like an EMP, that this thing will go out, go through walls, and anyone in the blast radius of it, you'll be able to see anywhere on the map where they're highlighted. So counter that with Cold-Blooded, which I'm probably going to be running Blind Eye and Cold-Blooded just to make myself immune from most of the annoyances in the game. And additionally, also no name will be displayed above your head, and no reticle color change when the enemies aim at you. So we've seen that in some previous perks, previous CODs. So it wraps up a bunch of different things in there, and I think it's going to be a very valuable perk. And if anyone complains because you're running Blind Eye and Cold-Blooded, it's probably just because they're using proximity explosives and tracker sights, and they're the douche nozzle, not you. Alright, and then up next is Fast Hands, which I used a lot in previous CODs, but it's probably not going to use as much since Blind Eye and Cold-Blooded are so valuable. But reload while sprinting and swap weapons and use exo abilities and exo launcher faster. So it speeds you up. We all know what that does. And then next is Gung-Ho. And this perk lets you fire while sprinting and sliding. So this is one that we're really going to have to play the game to see how valuable it is, how accurate you can be while sprinting. But it could be a very valuable perk, but I really don't have any opinions on this until I play the game. And now we move on to the third tier of perks. And one thing I'd like to bring your attention to, we're on the final tier of perks, and Dead Silence has been nowhere on the list. And Optic Midnight said that she even asked the developers if it was going to be in the game, and they said no. Dead Silence not in the game, and the reasoning was what she said, and you can check her video out below, that they didn't want any perks in the game that you had to have, like a necessity perk. And that's what they thought Dead Silence was, but obviously they didn't think that Toughness was, when Toughness, I think, is a necessity perk that if you don't have it, you are going to lose gunfights to the people that do. So it really is a needed perk in the way that Stopping Power was a needed perk, because if someone has it, they're going to win out over you if you don't have it. So I would like to see Dead Silence brought back if Toughness is in here, or just remove toughness altogether and reduce the overall flinch for all the players across the map if they're trying to remove perks that are needed to play. And next up we have Scavenger, which is an enhanced Scavenger. It really combines two perks that are in Ghost. Scavenger, which resupplies ammo that you pick up off the field, but you also start with extra magazines, which is kind of like the fully loaded perk in Ghost, so it kind of makes Scavenger a little bit more valuable. And next up is our new Ghost perk, which is Don't Show on Minimap when using XO movements. And at first I thought that everyone is going to be able to see XO movements. Every time you jump, your exosuit is using the blast out of it, and I thought everyone might see you on the map, but I think that you have to be using the exo ping exosuit enhancement in order to see the blast from the exosuit. But if you use this perk, then even if they are running the exo ping enhancement, then they're not going to see you anyway. So it's not as valuable as I thought it might be, but it's still something you might consider if a lot of people are running the exo ping enhancement. And next we have Hardwired, which this says immune to system hack, EMP, nanoswarms. So nanoswarms reminds me of swarms from Black Ops 2, which sounds like it could be one of the high score streaks that has not been announced yet. And if that's true, then you could always run a class with Hardwired, so if they call in a nano swarm and it's killing a bunch of people, you die once, you switch to your Hardwired class, and now you are immune from the swarm. So this is one I probably wouldn't run on every class, but I will have one class with this configured to switch to in case I need it to combat against all of those things. And now to our final perk, which is Hardline. Everyone knows what Hardline does. It just decreases your score streak cost by 100, making your score streaks a little bit easier to get, and that's pretty much all it does. So let me know what you guys think of all the perks, how you think that Dead Silence missing from the list, how you think that's going to play out like in Search and Destroy. I'm not too happy about that. I'm not too happy about Danger Close being in it. Other than that, some of the perks look like they can enhance the game and protect you from some of the other annoying things that are in the game, keeping them from being game-breaking, since there is something in there to counter them. So, after taking a closer look at the perks, it kind of made me feel better about some of the other annoying things that are in there. So let me know if you want me to go over other items in the game. I'm thinking about going over the exosuit abilities and attachments, and just get an in-depth look of those things. And I'm using in-depth like I feel bad when I say it. After I say it, it's just like a common thing that you say, but it's like, oh, it's copyrighted by Drifter, he's gonna sue you. I hope don't sue me, Drifter. But thanks again to Ashley Optic Midnight for letting me use some screenshots from the perks that I didn't have. Go check out her videos at the playlist in the description. And she got to play the game, and I'm so jealous. But that's all I got for now. Talk to you later. Take it easy.